What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the same. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Wise here. I am the founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Thanks for tuning into this special Best Of episode where we'll take a look back at some of our favorite moments from previous conversations. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help B2B businesses give to and connect to their Dream 200 relationships and partnerships. We do this in two ways. Number one, we are an easy button for a company to launch and run a podcast for ROI. We do the strategy, accountability, and full execution and production. Number two, we are also an easy button for your company's corporate gifting. We make gifting and staying top of mind to your clients, partners, and prospects simple and seamless and affordable. Some companies even send gifts to staff from a culture perspective. All you have to do is give us the list of people you want to follow up and keep in touch with, and we do everything else from there, from gift selection to the card to your branding on the box. We call ourselves the magic elves that run in the background to make it as stress-free as possible for companies so they can build relationships and run their business. For me, the number one thing in my life is relationships, and I am always looking at how to give to my best relationships. And I've found no better way over the past decade than having them on my podcast, featuring what they are working on and sharing it with the world, and also sending delicious treats in the mail every few months for years. If you have thought about starting a podcast or gifting, do it. If you have questions, email us at support@rise25.com or go to rise25.com to learn more. Now, let's look back at some of our favorite moments from past conversations. We have great people, great resources, and I tracked down Ali Mirza. Even though he is driving, I'm like, I don't care, just hop on Zoom and let's do this. And you know, this is going to be on his favorite resources. It could be podcasts, books, whatever he recommends. He is an expert at sales, and you can check him out. Well, I'll let him tell you. I'll pull up the website, but I'll tell people where they can check you out, what website, and what you do.
I run a sales consulting firm. We help agencies and funded startups scale their sales teams. So if you've got 5 reps, you want to go from 5 to 50 and scale that inside of 18 months, we are the people to do that for you. You can find me at alimirza.com. You can also find me on Instagram at alimirza.rgc.
Okay. Top resources. We can talk about books, podcasts, whatever you desire.
Let's talk about podcasts. Can I just drop it? Can I just tell you what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Podcast?
Yeah, let's do it.
My favorite podcast is Shane Parrish's Farnham Street, the Knowledge Project. Phenomenal podcast.
Any others that you like?
Other than that, of course,
Are there certain guests on the podcast?
My favorite one that he's ever had. This is reaching deep in the bag. This is it's got to be 2018, 2017 maybe. He had Rory Sutherland on his podcast. It is probably about a 90-minute podcast or so. Absolutely phenomenal. And then there's also actually Rick Rubin's podcast. I forget what that's called, but
I don't the Knowledge Project? Is this the one right here?
Yes, yeah.
So you can see John Mackey of Whole Foods.
Yep.
He's some really interesting guests here.
Oh, he's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
And then you were saying the Rick Rubin one?
So I don't actually listen to the Rick Rubin podcast. Not for any other reason other than I just don't. Not to say it's not good. I'm sure it's great. But the episode where he has Rory Sutherland on there, that one is phenomenal. It's like 3 hours long, but man, I probably listened to it like 4 times, and every single time I find it is so rich and so it's phenomenal. You have to listen to it from an open state of mind and be in a really good state of like mental fluidity and suspend disbelief. Oh, phenomenal.
What was so phenomenal. Like, why that one?
it's just the way in which they talk. I mean, there's like it's the thing that I loved about it is they're not. I mean, they're both nerds, but they didn't talk like nerds, right? Like losers. Like there's people that just start telling you facts and data about things, and I'm like, I don't care. Like I don't care about the fact that there's like 96.2. Like who cares? To speak to me in an esoteric term, and that because like about like things that we have yet to prove that are worth exploring, because data is derivative. So I don't want to hear about what other people have already done. What I want to hear about is what are the things we can do. And so that conversation is, like I said, it's so rich, but it's rich in ideas and in their own original ideas. But what it did for me
Is this
is
the
it
one right here?
inspired a
I
lot
don't
of
want you to
really,
crash or anything, but is this the Rick
yeah,
Rubin,
that's what.
Rory
I don't worry
Sutherland?
about it. Yes, don't worry about it. I took W. I was driving, of course, I was cigarette, sandwich, and drive a stick shift all at the same time, so I'm good.
Okay. Um,
You
what
don't
about
know what to do with that one, huh?
books?
Books. I love Rory's book, Alchemy. Um, that's an older book. I love what else do I love? I love the book Radical Candor by what else? Um, there's a lot of really good books out there. I love anything by Robert Greene. I think he's a phenomenal
Hmm.
writer. The way in which he writes, he basically created what I think he created a whole brand new way of writing with through telling teaching principles and then hammering them home through parables. So I think that's phenomenal. And then I mean he's obviously inspired Ryan Holiday as well. Um, oh, and then there's another phenomenal book is called Predatory Thinking by Dave Trott. Is a great book. Just all about like a kind of a divergent way of thinking. So if you like anything by like Daniel Kahneman or even Daniel Pink, if you like those kinds of books, those are all like I mean again nothing against like Daniel Pink. Like I think Daniel Pink is a phenomenal author and I think an incredibly intelligent individual. But it would be if you read Daniel Pink, he's a great introduction to divergent thinking and great introduction to breaking conventional norms. But I think if you want to take it to that next level and get like a very aggressive take on it, like Daniel Pink might be 101. Dave Trott would be 102, maybe, is the way I look at it. So that's why I really like him.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh yeah, that's the next book I'm gonna buy on Audible, actually. I did have Kim Scott of Radical Candor on the podcast. That's a really good one.
She's great.
Some of my favorite authors. I liked Never Split the Difference. Chris Voss. Did you
Yep.
check that one out? I
Yep.
feel like
No,
that one's right up your alley.
yes.
Because we were
Chris
talking
Voss.
before we hit record about it doesn't even start until you get a no. And that's kind of Chris Voss talks about that with negotiation also.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what Chris Voss, one of his things is never drive to the no. Um, not in so many words, but his whole thing is like until you can drive towards your conclusion, don't kind of like close it up. Is kind of the message I got from it, and he teaches some really good tactics on how to do that. So I think that's great. Um, yeah,
I love it. Like, first of all, thanks for letting me join you on your drive, and we'll see you for next time. Thanks for the resources.
thank you.
I am excited. Jeremy Weiss. I'm here with Stacie Porter Bilger. This is part of the resources. Great people, great resources. And we're going to talk about tech stack because everyone loves to hear about software. But before we get into that, Stacie, just tell people where they can find you, your website, and what you do.
Stacie Porter Bilger, Proof Digital is our company, www.proofdigital.com. We're a performance marketing and web development firm. We just help companies grow and make good decisions in this very evolving digital space we live in.
So one of my favorite questions is tech stack. What kind of software are you using as a company? And I
Yeah,
always like hearing, and other people do too.
absolutely. Different areas. Obviously, big thing is getting things done. So project management, we use Monday. Google's also part of that process and systems. We're yet leveraging AI and ChatGPT to systemize talking between both of those pieces. Slack is also a vital communication tool as well, and so those are on the project management kind of communication everyday use. Other tech stack, I mean, we have a pretty broad tech stack with what we do. So if you're looking from a standpoint of analytics and data and SEO, you obviously go to Google Analytics, Google SEMrush. You also SEMrush, SpyFu. That's a good tool. SEO Quake. Those are all good from a standpoint of gathering competitive intelligence strategy. Those are all quick wins tools that we use. There's a few other ones but those are the everyday. From a business standpoint, like a lot of businesses, operations, QuickBooks, and that's always, everybody has to have all that going and automated as quickly as possible. So those are the big buckets. Now there's a ton others, but those are the big buckets.
It's funny because, I find a lot I don't know if this is the case for you, but sometimes people don't just the fundamentals, like Google Analytics
Yeah,
you mentioned. Like
yeah.
people want the nifty, cool new ones, but I find a lot of people I talk to don't even have Google Analytics installed on their website, and like that alone would give them data.
It's the best data. So you can see. So SEMrush was a tool that we use all the time. We pay a lot of money for it. We actually have enterprise level use of that tool, but it's pulling secondary data. With the data that you have that's the purest data is Google Analytics, SEMrush, Tag Manager. Another tool what we like to use is Microsoft Clarity. It's helps you understand behavior on a site. That's a great tool to use. SEO Quick is kind of a little as a browser tool that you can kind of spy on other sites and understand how they're looking from a
Is that a
standpoint of
Chrome plugin or is that
it's a
just a
Chrome
is
plugin.
a Chrome
Yeah.
plugin?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But the purest data, and to your point, I mean, people don't have their sitemap in their, submitted into Google Search Console. Those are basic things of dotting I's and crossing T's of if you want to win the online game.
I'm curious, any productivity software. I'll mention a few that I love,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
LastPass. I love
Yes,
it. Just save me time. Text
yeah. We use
Expander.
we use 1Password, very similar to LastPass. We did use LastPass. We moved over to 1Password. Um, 1Password. We have also servers and those. I mean, Cloudflare, other things from a standpoint of security and pieces as well. But systems. I mean, 1Password. When you have lots of team members and you have lots of passwords, if you don't have a password protective tool like a LastPass or a 1Password, you're in trouble because you don't want to be sharing that across emails or even Slack or anything. So that's a really important productivity. Monday again is there's other ones like a Monday. Some
Yeah, we
people
use
use ClickUp,
ClickUp. Yeah, we use
ClickUp,
ClickUp. Yep.
but Monday we live in Monday. Everything has every project has a board. Every client has a board. Every task is inputted, tracking time as well as in there. So that's all kind of there. But you don't want to make it too complex, but you need to make sure that you adopt it. A solid project management system is vital, as well as a good CRM. I mean, some of those pieces on CRM and email marketing, different. We are in various ones because clients are in various ones. We have a lot of e-commerce sites, so as clients, so Klaviyo is is
That's a
our
popular
preferred.
e-commerce one. Yeah.
It is, but we have clients who are in MailChimp too, so we understand those integrations as well. But there's others. I mean, in CRM, to me, it's all about. I mean, it's same with project management. It's about using it.
Yeah, it's using
And
it. Exactly.
sorry, we got a friend join us. Sorry about that.
I love it.
Um, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, I mean, if it's being used, right? Because project
y-
management, if you look at Monday, there's ClickUp, there's Trello, there's Asana,
right.
there's a million of them, but, it only works if we use it.
Yeah, it only works if we use it. And so in the, CRM, it's the same thing. You need to have a hierarchy, what's your, what data you need to put in there. Okay, what are the groups? What are the tags? And everybody needs to follow that process. So, some people we actually use Monday, but Pipedrive, HubSpot, you name it, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah. Stacie, this is great. Everyone can check out proofdigital.com to learn more. I appreciate it. This was awesome. All right. This is top resources episode. Okay. This is great people, great resources. Okay. I'm here with Geordie Wardman. He has run multiple companies in the software space, sold multiple companies. And, Geordie, I want to hear about your favorite software and tools. It could be apps, it could be Chrome extensions, it could be software, but just tell people what you do in your website first, and then we'll get into it.
Sure, Jeremy. So we are now the software program that I'm most excited about right now is actually called Claude Code, and it's like a powerful sort of AI programming tool. And I have been using that to sort of experiment and vibe with vibe coding. And even though some people may call me technical. I would never consider myself that technical. I'm not really a developer. I'm only just a little bit technical. But I've actually found it really easy to build. Not easy, but um, I'll, it's easier than it was. Yeah, I even tried like 4 or 5 months ago. Vibe coding was terrible, and it's gotten a lot better. So. I would say that's probably my favorite software.
Tell where can people find your company and what does your company do now?
Okay, so it's Duxre, Duxre.com, and we are a commercial real estate marketplace and AI tool. So basically, we build like a powerful like operating system for commercial real estate brokers. So there's a marketplace. They can have their own branded marketplace too on their own domain,
Hmm,
uh, and AI tools to help them help them and their clients sell commercial real estate.
that's awesome. I love it. I know you've had a lot of companies over the years, but so people can check out duxre.com, especially if they're commercial real estate. The Claude Code, what's another couple softwares that you love?
What else do I have? Of course, I'm big on Slack. Love Slack. Um, and what's another one that I
What
once
else do you guys use internally, like PM, like project management tools or
So
things
we're
like that?
using, I love Loom. Loom is great. I love Loom a lot. I love the thing I love about Loom is the USP is so simple. It's just basically async conversations, and it's so simple. I use probably Loom, I don't know, maybe 5 times a day, because we're remote first. So we're like basically everything in Slack. And rather than have a meeting, I just send a
Mm.
5 minute video.
I love
So
that. I know people are using it from like a reach out perspective because it's more personal,
yeah,
also
yeah.
with clients, prospects, partners, and that kind of thing. But you use it internally for staff.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, those are
And
my
that
tools.
do you use the Chrome extension?
I don't actually
Oh,
use
you
a
don't?
desk. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
yeah,
Claude Code, Slack, Loom, love it. Jordy, first of all, thank you. Everyone, check out duxre.com, and we'll see everyone next time. Jordy, appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you, Jeremy.
This is Great People, Great Resources episode. I'm here with Richard Hurley. He's founder of Highline e-commerce. And really, Richard, we're going to talk about favorite software, tech. It could be Chrome extensions. It could be apps. It could be software. Okay. Before we get into it, just tell people your company and what you do. And I'll pull it up too. It's highlinecommerce.com. So,
You got it. Um, yeah, man. Great to be on, Jeremy. I'm Richard Hurley. I run Highline Commerce. We're a third-party logistics company. So if you had a business shipping a product and you're like outgrowing your apartment or your house, or you just don't want to do it from the jump, there are companies like us who you can outsource it to, who are happy to store it and ship it for you as orders come in.
I love it. And we'll get into tech, but you have an interesting story of why you started this, and it was actually your wife's fault.
Yeah, so we're based in Brooklyn in New York, and my wife started a business in 2017 that we were shipping out of our apartment. So like many people who start businesses, our house started to be filled with boxes, and as orders would come in, we would have to fulfill them. Became more and more work, and our tiny apartment was getting overrun. So, anyways, that was my foray into the third party logistics world, which I knew nothing about when we were starting. My background was in advertising technology, so nothing to do with this, but I was desperate for the boxes to get out of our apartment.
You geek out on technology stuff. So I'd love to hear some of your favorite software, tools, extensions, apps. Tell me.
Yeah, right now, the things I'm geeking out on the most, and this is like our whole team, is Replit is one that we're really going crazy for. It's a tool to build apps without needing to know code, or like software engineering. So I've gotten subscriptions for my team, and we've successfully replaced our ticketing system that integrates with Slack. We've built a CRM system from scratch. We are building reporting dashboards and pulling data from our warehouse management system to do stuff that it can't do. And it's really insane just how fast you can go from idea to a fully functioning app. So that's one that I'm just blown away by. It's just getting better and better. And then on the like warehousing side, I'd say this company Ultra. Me and Jeremy were talking about this earlier, but it's a, humanoid robotics company that is aiming to supplement the pack stations. So kind of the way it works in third party logistics is you pick the orders on carts, you take that to a packing station, and then you pack the orders, goes on a conveyor, then it gets shipped off into the, like sorted into the right mail system. What they've built is a humanoid at the pack station that can take the items that have been picked and ship it out for you. Really crazy. Didn't exist in February, exists now, and it's already handling about 20 to 30% of all of our orders. It's insane.
Do they look like full-fledged like humanoid as you would like visualize, like head and body, or is
Kind
it just
of.
like hands? Because I was
It's
looking
more
on
of a
your
torso.
website and I
Yeah.
could see these hands moving, but I
Yeah.
can't see anything else
It's
beyond that.
definitely more of a torso, like a floating torso. But there is the way they train it is like a human is in an Oculus with like hands. So I have operated the machine myself
Really?
before.
Wow.
It's honestly pretty challenging, but then once they get enough training data, they're able to do it autonomously, which is really cool.
Yeah, someone I just had on, Richard was mentioning, you mentioned the Replit, they were mentioning Claude Code.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know if you've tested that out, but that this person had they sold it, but had a outsourced like web dev company, like where they would be hired. So that was interesting from them. Any other Chrome extension software that you use or apps?
Yeah, definitely a handful. I'd say I'm more in the logistics space, so I definitely gravitate towards that. There's one called Parcel that I really like. This is more of a startup than it is like an app. They do have an app, but they're trying to like transform last mile logistics. So it's kind of the idea that I don't know if you've experienced this yourself, Jeremy, but Amazon will use all kinds of random delivery carriers, like besides USPS and UPS. So they're making that really accessible
Mm.
to like every type of shipper. So companies like a Viho or an OnTrack or Jitsu, Uni Uni, DoorDash, companies that you maybe don't think about when you're shipping a package, they're making that a
That
lot
makes
more
sense.
easy to
Yeah.
use. And it's a tough challenge because it's like I don't want to start a new relationship with all those carriers, even being a logistics guy. It's like we already have USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, international shippers, freight companies. So to add all those others, it's challenging. So they've really solved that problem, and they're ex Shopify guys, and so they're kind of really plugged in with what Shopify did on their logistics side and where their gaps were, and they're solving those gaps, which is I think is really awesome.
Any Shopify plugins that I'm not sure if you're necessarily working inside those pieces, but I'm curious of Shopify plugins that you've heard through your customers or yourself that are
Yeah.
popular.
They're both logistics, so you have to bear with me. But there's two apps that I like. One is Getcho. We use it for same day delivery. It's like $8 within New York and Atlanta, where two of our locations are, which is insane. So you order, something online from one of our customers, delivers in 2 hours. I still find that really hard to believe for $8. It's nuts. So that's a really cool app, free to use. The other one was Flavor Cloud. It's like right now, this year has been a really crazy year for customs and duties. And so any of our customers who's not using this has definitely felt the pain of customers of theirs getting shipments and then getting surprise duty fees, which is a really bad customer experience. So this company calculates it at checkout, and then they take the risk of if for some reason it's more expensive, they'll cover the cost, which is really nice. So I like Flavor Cloud.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like Klaviyo gets mentioned a lot, and
Yeah,
also Postscript gets mentioned a lot for
nice,
like SMS marketing type of stuff.
cool.
Yeah. So, Richard, thank you. This has been great. Everyone can check out highlinecommerce.com. If you're watching the video portion, we showed the website. And if you have needs, you need to ship out products, like you mentioned, or if you know of e-commerce brands that need to ship out products, check them out. So, Richard, thanks so much.
Appreciate it, Jeremy.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I feel like 100 grand.